lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan. Back with me again, my boy Eli, talking some turtles.
What up? Talking turtles.
Issue 8 in Vol.4 as we continue this read through of probably one of my favorite volumes of Turtles, I think. I mean, even as I'm going back reading it, I forgot. I knew I loved it, but I forgot how much.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So much action. And, these are older turtles. We're older guys. Peter's older. And it's just, there's action in this one for sure. Actually, these next few, there's a lot of action. We're talking about the letters column coming up next issue, but boy.
Yeah. And the covers, as always, phenomenal.
Oh, my God.
Michael Dooney.
Dooney always kills it. And it's cool that he's like painting over these Peter inks.
Oh, yeah, dude. It's like a total collaboration. Just like a little bit of each of their touches,
I love it.
So we open up too, and there's a little letter of this, like, I guess I'm not familiar with Norman Lee, but he's an artist, and it's this whole story of how he asked Peter for, a sketch at a con. He was a huge fan. And then I'll just flip to the back real quick just to show it. And then in the back, we get Peter inking, or Norman inked it. I'm sorry, over Peter's pencils. So that's a pretty cool little story.
Yeah, it's a cool pinup too.
Yeah.
That would fetch a lot of money these days.
Oh my God, dude. I was thinking, like, you just asked him for this sketch at a con casually. Like, fuck this. You can't get this anymore.
No.
So when we left off last time, April's in the hospital, right? She's got Baxter's fucking nano machines inside her, and we learn that Robin is not April's sister. So where do we start off? At a fucking gravesite.
Right. They're like mining DNA from April's parents. It's insane. She's like, this is a little bizarre, a little macabre. But
it's a little weird. It's a little odd, like I wouldn't have thought that that's what they would do, but I guess,
Yeah. And this sky is pretty cool on these duotone pages from, I guess from Eric.
It's a mix though, because it says toning by Peter and no ink, no tones by Talbot.
Oh yeah, so it must be Peter.
Yeah, they go back and forth though, because I feel like a few of those issues it said Talbot was doing tones and inks on some of it.
Oh yeah,
but
I can understand why Peter like wants that, the control of the habit of doing that, because
it's his flourishes.
And they're just like, okay, I guess it's cool. You can let your little robot here take these samples. It's kind of weird. And they're like, no worry, we have breached the biosample container.
It's pretty good because they're not super invasive either. They're just sticking like this tiny little needle that just drills down and takes a little bit of the DNA. So it's not like they're digging up the body, which would be a little bit more grotesque, I think.
Yeah, and this like super humanoid Utron body, they're like, it's just taking a little hole, and it's like we seal it up on the way. Like it won't be anything. Like, no worries, girl. She's like, okay, whatever. This is crazy.
Yeah, and it's funny because like, well, obviously, like we've already said, we usually read a few of these when we're recording. But even like the next few issues don't really deal with the aftermath of what we're kind of dealing with here.
Yeah, they kind of don't even broach it. It's just like this happens and that's it, man. They get the samples and that's it. They need the information. And they're like, you wanted to know this, right? You wanted to have this info. And she's like, I guess, man.
Because at this point it's like all we know is that they're not blood related.
Right. We need to know why, like, and who's related to the parents. Like,
exactly.
Yep. So they get it and then they bounce. And this, every spread from Jim, I mean, I feel like we're very, showering him with compliments.
I know.
Man, this is so sick.
They are so sick, though. It's like, how do you not shower with these compliments? Look at and you say it every time, too, like, the way he draws, like, every part of the bike, like, it just...
Yeah.
It looks real, it doesn't look like some made-up vehicle, which I think sometimes you kind of get that in comics where like the artist doesn't want to deal with drawing some of the little more minute details, but I love that Jim does that every time he's doing bikes and stuff like that or any technology.
You can tell he's a gearhead and he knows what every little piece of that does. It's so sick. And so this dude's cruising up. We don't know who it is yet, we're thinking. And then the next spread here is like another thing that I really like about this book is like you can clearly tell that it's like a very personal story that Peter's adding in all these little things like about their hometown of Northampton where they were living for a while. he knows all these things like storefronts, restaurants. This the fountain is dry. The courthouse, those dudes on the courthouse steps. Like I wonder why they're always there.
Right. Then Look Park. I'm assuming that's somewhere. That's a real place. I don't think that that's made up either. Like I've never been
Absolutely,
on the
yeah.
East Coast, so I don't know some of this stuff. But yeah, it definitely looks. I love these kind of scenes. Like so,
Yeah.
the complaints that we get in the letters pages in the next issue, just kind of like I got pissed off too. So like I understood his reaction because like this is. Look, if it's not for you, it's not for you. Go read the old stuff. That's always my mentality. Like, there's so many readers now, even nowadays, and this is 20 years after this book came out, where they have complaints. Oh, comics aren't like they used to be. There's not as much action. It's like, well, then if you don't like it, then find something else. But I love that we get these older turtles because it's to me, like as I was reading it, it reminds me of Savage Dragon. How Savage Dragon ages in moves in real time, and these are turtles that if the series would have continued, this is where they would have ended up.
Absolutely, 100% agree. And it's like if you're not ready for things to change, like you don't really get what comics are for because like it's everything is about growth, especially if you're doing a book that lasts as long as Turtles. You can't just and the guy who probably wrote that original thing was probably like mad that they're not eating like marshmallow pizza. It's like that's not even what the Turtles are. You're gonna watch the 80s cartoon nonstop. Come on, brah.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're both getting pissed about it because it's good.
Yeah. And then look again, just we're having this dude. We don't even know who he is. And even as he pulls up, I still don't. I mean, I know what issue it's from, obviously, right? It's from issue 15 of the original volume of Turtles. But he pulls up to the farmhouse.
Yeah, and you get the kind of feeling that they are actually like robots. They're not necessarily like mutants or something. Like I can't remember all that. Maybe, we should check out 15 to kind of get some background info on that.
I'm thinking that might be good to like throw that in between some of these episodes. Just I know it's kind of out of order. We haven't done the first 14, but 15 is a nice little one-off that I think would be nice to talk about.
And it'll inform like the knowledge of this issue or all these issues, So they're just kind of getting reacquainted. It's been a while, old Rusty. That's what makes me think again that like they're robots. That'd be a funny nickname for a robot. And
it's hard to tell. It is hard to tell because like he does have that big metal thing on his forehead,
right?
Like
that like disc or plate. And we aren't sure what he hands him and what he's got in that bag, and we don't know until later. And frankly, I didn't even put it together till this is like the second time I'm going over the book.
Same.
Yeah. But now, we come to the kitchen, we see Splinter and what's his name? Jay.
Right.
Yeah, Jay, who's like Shadow's boyfriend, and they're like, of course, having tea. I feel like the thing Splinter does the most in this book is have tea.
Yeah, and I gotta say, dude, I know this is stupid that I liked it. Well, maybe it's not stupid. I love the steam coming out.
Oh, me too, man.
I love that shit.
I add that kind of shit in my art all the time because it reminds me of the way Jim Mahfood did like cigarette smoke and like the Clerks comics and shit.
Oh yeah, dude, those are so good.
Yeah,
I also didn't notice this until this second look, that he gets this little like twinge, like.
But I think that's from his. Well, I think it's from the guy's brain because he's like he can read minds and stuff. He's got telepathy, and so he's like, oh man, he feels him in his brain because then he's like, I do not welcome your intrusion into my mind. So I feel like that pain was from his mind, maybe or something.
Oh yeah, you're right. Maybe I'm trying to connect a dot that's not there because I wasn't like,
maybe. But who knows? Maybe it caused him that same kind of stress. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So then they get introduced again to Little Metalhead. That's the first time that he was like called out for his height, I feel like.
Yeah. He's such a funny looking character, dude,
Yeah, for sure. And the fact that he like swings on his hair and stuff. He's like this Medusa on Inhumans kind of.
Yeah, and he's like, "Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Tell me stories of the city." And then he's like, "Yeah, later after we're done with this." And I love how he just like takes the jacket off, he hangs it up, and like some shit's about to go down. Obviously, like you see the thing with Splinter, so what's about to happen to Jay.
Yeah. He's like, "What you talking about, dude?"
Yeah.
And we flash back to the Utrom undersea headquarters where Casey is getting his rage on and getting his sweat on.
Yeah, I
Again,
love this.
yeah, Jim Lawson's like proportions and detail and just the way he does everything is so sweet. With a thump, he kicks the bag, and one of the turtles is like, "Dude, freaking chill out."
This exercise thing looks like a Kirby thing. It doesn't look like your regular like exercise. It definitely looks like the Kirby flourishes a little bit to me.
Yeah, you
At
can
least.
tell Jim or Peter are around motorcycles way more than they are workout gear. Though
Yeah.
maybe,
Yeah.
though maybe it's like they're trying to envision like futuristic alien workout gear, and so it's different. Especially with this repulsor bar agility trainer.
That thing's pretty cool though.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah.
I'm not around a lot of exercise machines myself, so I
Yeah,
can't really talk.
neither am I. But yeah, I love the how they're like floating in the air and stuff. That's pretty dope.
Yeah, it's almost like danger room technology.
That's
or
what I was
something
just
like
gonna say. Yeah.
that. Yeah,
And
and
then
then
you
it's
just
kind of cool. Yeah, go ahead, man.
go. You got like Ultra just stay there, just like that fucking scowl on his
Yeah,
face,
exactly.
right
Yeah,
there. And then it goes, and you see he's just like that's what he's staring at. He's just mean
they're
mugging
like, "What's that
Leo.
freak staring at?" And he's just like, he's watching Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool too. There's that Tails issue that explains their relationships. That would be another fun one
Mm-hmm.
to do an ep on. And he's just like, "Yo, bro, you want to practice together? I'm positive this won't go sour. Like, I'm sure we can keep it together." And he's like, "Bro, I am Zen man, but sure, let's do it."
I never pass up a chance to spar with a worthy opponent.
Yeah,
This dude, I love this right here, dude. Like it,
yeah,
like
good.
Leo looks like he's flexing too a little bit. With
Yeah,
the card in his hand.
like, you sure you want this, bro? And just remember, this is practice, not combat. He's like, "Sure, dude, I'm ready."
Yeah, these
And then,
pages.
yeah, really great action.
Which is funny because like that comment about there being no action. Maybe they're not like doing some crazy battles, but like to me, this is great action
It's
in this
yeah,
issue.
yeah. What do they want?
Yeah, these guys are
Like, fighting is not good storytelling always. It's like, that's not what comics are all about.
Yeah.
But when you got it good like this, it's amazing. And they're like, "Dude, look at these guys." Everyone's like stopping their workout to like watch them. Surely.
Yeah, like and then Casey's like, it's a good thing those aren't real swords. And
Yeah.
then I can't tell who's saying it, but he's saying that the wooden Boken blade can still be deadly in expert hands. And obviously these are two expert.
Absolutely. Yeah. They're just raging. And then he's like, "Dude, I thought this was like only practice." He's like, "Oh, is this too much for you, bro?" And he's like, "Come on." And then
Yeah.
bam, 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 bam. So much action.
Yeah,
It's
these
like,
are these. I'm telling you, like these pages are just phenomenal.
yeah, it's like basically 3 or 4 spreads of just nonstop action. So
I love this panel up here. Like the speed
yeah.
lines up top are like they're not what you normally think of when you think of speed lines. Like they're
Yeah.
done in such a different way, but and then right as Leo like cracks him, dude, that's that sound effect right there.
Yeah, it's perfect. And he's
Yeah.
just like, "Oh shit." He's like, "You're doing better, but." And then this is messed up because he did cut his face last time.
Oh, I know.
And so he just traces that again with this practice blade, and he's like all pissed off. He chops it in half, and everyone's like, "Oh god."
I love that
Because
line
like,
too. Your overconfidence betrays you and leaves its mark. Oh my god, dude. I was
yes.
like,
And you're kind of like reading this and you're like, "Oh, Che Ocho went a little overboard," but now you're seeing that like, okay, Leo's right there with him, and that was kind of like a vengeance move that you don't always see in the like usually together Leo.
yeah, exactly. That's what it like. I wouldn't say that it was out of character, but it's cool to see a different side of him because he is
Mhm.
usually the calm, cool. He's the leader,
Yeah.
so he usually doesn't allow himself to kind of be that guy, but he does in this small moment.
I think this dude brings it out of him in a way that like most characters don't.
Yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
we meet him again as well later on down the road.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah. And then obviously we have Karai come in. She's fucking like, what the hell are you guys doing? And Leo's like, oh no, just a little bit of practice. No
Yeah,
harm, no harm.
he's like takes some of the blame. He's like, we're just chilling.
Yeah.
We're just practicing. And she's like, "Uh-huh, I'm sure." Che Ocho, get up and we'll discuss your dishonorable conduct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone's just like, damn, you
Yeah,
in
and then she even
trouble.
says, like, Mr. Jones, I hope your wife has a full recovery, whatever afflicts her. And like this is like bleeding into the fact that, and it comes up later too, a couple issues from now, I think, where they're not friends, but they're
Yeah,
also not enemies
right,
anymore,
right.
So they're, right in the middle ground. And
Yeah.
we go back to the farmhouse. This is where
Hmm.
Jay is about to get his fucking mind wiped.
Yeah, they're like crying in there a little bit. He's like, you ready? And he's like, yeah, just look deep into my eyes. And this close up is insane.
Oh, I was just looking at it. So good.
Classic Jim. Shout out old Jim there. He's the best.
And I love this panel, dude.
Yes. Because then you kind of get this spiral of like floating back in his mind back to the woods where he just wakes up and he's like, huh? What happened? Oh yeah. I guess I was like shooting guns and then I fell asleep. I'm a safe person. But then you see this gun, which you find out that's what was on his back there, the guy
Yeah.
that was riding up on the bike. He just like had this replacement in his, collection of guns. Little nick, some wear marks, couple serial number changes, and shebanga. You
And
guys
then they're
want
like,
takeout from India House?
they're like, okay, we're good. Let's go eat.
Oh man, another like thing that's most definitely like a shout out to someplace they used to always get. I totally want to go to Northampton. I've been, but not when I was like trying to like be turtly about it. And now I'm pretty sure Eric Talbot does tattoos there. So I'll like want to go get a Eric Talbot like original turtle statue.
Dude, we should go together.
Okay, I'm down.
I'm down. Maybe I'll make it like a write-off for Comic Lodge.
Oh
It's
hell
research.
yeah.
It's research,
Yep.
dude.
It is. It absolutely is.
And then we
All
go
right.
back to the hospital, dude. Or not
Yep.
hospital, but like, well, the Utrecht hospital.
Right. They don't say like Katzenberg Hospital or whatever, but that is what it is. And they're like, "Whoa, you came! This is crazy. You got here exactly at the exact time we were about to announce this information. Sweet, you guys were right on it." And they're like, as I was saying, yeah, Robin is totally, an O'Neill, and April doesn't match anything.
So weird.
Dun dun dun.
And this is it. We don't even hear about like breaking cape. Like we read that we're doing the next two issues today as we're recording this, and it doesn't mention this.
Right. Because they got other things at hand first.
Right. Of course.
Yeah. But they'll mention it soon enough.
Yeah. So now they're trying to figure out what to do with her. Starts convulsing on the bed.
Yeah. They're like, whoa. Uh-huh. They're like, what's going on? They look in there and they're like, dudes, the nanobots have turned from dormant into disassemble. They're eating her alive.
Crazy, dude.
Yeah.
I love the cliffhangers too.
Yeah, they always got them.
And obviously we got some good letters pages as always.
Yeah, just some little news at the end of like Peter dropping that like, all right, we're doing a signing soon. Here's this website to check out. There's a lot more of that coming in. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, nothing too crazy in this one. Get it.
Oh, I remember. I wanted to talk about the crossword puzzle that comes up later. Yes. So we should post this for the Comic Lounge people, and if anyone can solve it fully, I got a prize for you, but I don't think you can complete it.
All right, you have a digital copy of this, right? That you could.
Yes, I'll send it to you. I'll send it right over to you.
Okay.
It's not for the casual like Turtles fan. It's hard. It took me a while to do it. Like it's tough.
I'll tell you, I don't think I could. I think there might be some stuff I don't know in here too.
Yeah, there's some real deep Mirage cuts up in this, and so I want people to check it out.
Like Gizmo Pal, like I just picked up all the Gizmo issues, so I still need to read those before I would know that answer.
It's fluffy. Come on, it's fluffy. Get that.
Well, I've never read Gizmo.
I know, but this one, number 9 down, KBE's middle name, like that's like who's KBE? Like,
is that Kevin Eastman?
Oh, Kevin Eastman. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah, this is gonna be a fun little challenge to
Yeah,
send
it's
out, dude.
tough, man. It's tough. Yeah.
I'll tag
So
Peter. I'll tag Peter in it too and see if he like digs the fact that we're gonna share that. I think he'd
I
enjoy
think he
that.
will. Yeah, and next month or next issue too, he's up in the letters column being like, "How come nobody's talking about this letter about this crossword? Did nobody like complete it?" And I'm like, "I bet you took some peeps a minute."
Yeah, for sure.
All
Another
right.
great issue, dude.
Yeah, man.
Make sure like I always say at the end of every episode, make sure you follow Eli and Comic Lounge. All the links are down below. Hope you guys dig these episodes and continue on with us as we make through every issue of this run. And on that note, we're out.
Shell yeah.